So this video is going to be me walking you through the notes that are posted on Google Classroom regarding incomplete and codominance. We're not going to go through the whole PowerPoint because we'll get more into blood typing a little bit later, and there's a better PowerPoint and video that I have that explain that. So for now, we're just going to talk about the basics of incomplete and codominance. So, snapdragons are a type of plants. They're flowers. If you look, you can have the dominant red color, you can have the recessive white color, and then when they come together and you get a heterozygous pair as your offspring, it ends up pink. Alright? So, what we're going to talk about is the difference between incomplete dominance and codominance. So that example of the snapdragon flower that we just talked about is incomplete dominance. So neither allele is completely dominant over another allele. So neither the red nor the white completely dominate the color of the offspring, but it ends up being pink. So it's a heterozygous phenotype, which involves a mixture of the blending of the two. So if I have a red flower, if I have my red flower and I have my white flower and they come together, then they'll be pink. Okay? So you've probably seen these flowers before, or ones that look like them. So when you look at these, they are incomplete dominance. Neither is red or white. And when your homozygous red flower mixes with the homozygous white flower, the alleles blend in the hybrid to get pink flowers, right? So that's the same example we gave in the beginning. Now here's another example. Andalusian chickens are an example of incomplete dominance. The chickens that are heterozygous are neither black nor white are the completely dominant color. So when they come together, they end up with a blue coloring. So like that last bullet point says, the offspring of the black feathered chicken and the white feathered chicken will end up blue, which is the heterozygous offspring. Codominance is different now. So codominance is where two of the dominant alleles are both expressed at the same time. So if you know anything about the prefix co, that means both or together. So codominance would be both of the alleles showing up at the same time. So that heterozygous phenotype will have both phenotypes shown. So if you look at the shorthorn cattle, you look at codominance. So if you notice, there is either homozygous red for the shorthorn cattle, or there is homozygous white for the shorthorn cattle. So if you look at this picture, this would be a codominant cattle because it's showing both the red and the white. So it's not like we have pink cattle walking around all over the place. This is where you're going to see both the red and the white. And another fact, and you'll see this in an assignment, is that the offspring of a heterozygous cattle is called a roan. So this is another example of what that might look like. Sickle cell anemia is codominant. Sickle cell anemia is a disease that certain people have. It's common in a lot of African countries where malaria, the disease, is present. This was an evolutionary adaptation that some of their ancestors had made to prevent them from having malaria. But unfortunately, sickle cell anemia can also be extremely dangerous. So, this is an abnormal hemoglobin, which is a protein that uses red blood cells to carry oxygen. So if you look, and you should know that a normal red blood cell looks like a circular shape, but this right here is a sickle-shaped cell, which is where it gets its name from. So people who are carriers, which heterozygous people are carriers of genes. This is where a heterozygous person and a heterozygous person can have a baby, and then this disease will show up in the family. So here's another example of what that would look like. So if you have someone who has sickle cell anemia and someone who does not have sickle cell anemia, this is where you're going to see the babies start having this disorder. All right? So this is a good question. Let's stop and think. What would be the resulting phenotype of a heterozygous pair of alleles showing incomplete dominance? All right, now remember, incomplete dominance means that both pairs are not completely dominating. It's incomplete. So that would mean that the colors mix. So if the trait is red and blue hair color, those colors mixed together would be purple. So C would be the correct answer. The next question is same setup, red and blue hair colors. And this is the phenotype of a heterozygous pair of alleles shown in codominance. So remember, codominance is where they're both present. So for this one, you should get your answer as D, the red and blue patches. So this trait would show up as both colors instead of a mixing of the colors. All right, and that's where we're going to stop. We're going to give you some more information, and this is all you have to do for today, which is Tuesday, is watch this video and look at the notes. And then tomorrow we're going to give you a video to watch, and then you're going to do some practice problems. So if you have any questions, feel free to give me an email, and that's all you have to do for today. See you guys later.